Hey folks, how are you? And welcome back to our YouTube channel, Gary Betty Leet, the Ole Church, 5 Acre Homestead. Well, as promised, in a previous video, I'm going to be casing in this window. And that's my goal today, is actually to case this window in with some pine and to put in some short pieces of the interior log siding off both sides of this window. That was my promise in a couple of videos ago, and today we're going to do that. I'm going to take you along now on this process and show you step by step just how to case in and trim a vinyl window here at the Ole Church. The first step, folks, in casing in a vinyl window with some pine trim is to get my saws ready. And here they are. I have my miter saw all set up and ready to go, and I have a full 8-foot length of pine trim laid out onto the saw, along with my measuring tape and pencil. I do need to take some measurements around the vinyl window very, very shortly. And I also have my table saw all ready to go as well. I'm going to have to rip some of the trim, and we'll get to that further along in the video. But right now, I need to go and take some measurements and then come back to this saw and do some cutting. All right, folks, back here at the window now, I have some of the casing cut and sawed to length. I have the top piece done and the two sides. The window stool, this piece across the bottom here, I had to do a little bit differently because it has to go out and meet the trim that's going on later. But you may not know this, but the outside part of the window on the bottom is called the window sill, but on the inside it's called the window stool. So when I get the two sides and the top nailed together with my brad nailer, which I'll be doing very, very shortly, and I'll be putting in the two sides and the top, I'll be working on the window stool and getting that put in place shortly. Right now, I have just a little piece of scrap there now that I use to help me do my measurements. So when I come back in the next little section of this video, I will have this part of the window done, and we'll be left with the trim or casing to do on the outside. Yeah, I'm here at my table saw now. The pine casing or trim that I had around the window was a little bit wider than I had liked, and I had to trim off just a small bit of it. I had to put it through my table saw and rip off about 1/4 inch so that it fits right nice and tight along the inside of the window, and that when the trim goes on, there's a nice even meat between the trim and the casing, and I'll show you that shortly. Okay, after ensuring that it was a nice fit, I have the casing, the two sides and the top all ready to go, and I got my nail gun there ready, and I'm going to use a few brad nails now to keep this frame together, and I'll be putting it back in the window box. Okay, I'm getting ready here now to finish cutting out the window stool. I have it cut to length using my miter saw, but on both ends I had to notch it out. And that's to allow for the window trim to come down and rest on the edge of the stool. And you'll see that when we get her done, and you'll see how nice and smart that actually does look. And for this part of the cutting, I have to use my jigsaw. Okay, so I have both ends of the window stool notched out, and a little bit of sanding here now, folks, and then I'm going to fit it inside the casing. Okay, the casing box that goes on the inside of the window is now complete. I just finished nailing on the window stool, and I'm going to lift that up now and securely put it into place inside the window right here. So give me a few minutes and I'll do that. Okay, I got the stool on now, and I got the inside trim or casing all installed around the inside part of the window. Looking pretty good. A pretty nice fit. Got the little overhangs here for when the trim comes down and meets up with this little edge, and it's going to look quite smart. Okay, folks, here I am now. Got this window cased and trimmed, and I'm actually putting on the last piece of trim here now. Here underneath the window stool, I'm putting on the ribbon. All right, almost done. Okay, folks, I just finished casing in and trimming this gently used vinyl window that we have installed here at the Old Church. Just finished putting on the ribbon. Okay, I'll move in a little bit closer so you can take a closer look at it. But a very nice job, I think. Okay, it's going to look nice up here. Okay, all the trim is on, a nice clean finish all the way around this window. Okay, now I'm going to get at putting on the interior log siding, the little pieces that need to go up on both sides of this window here. Okay, and I'm going to do that now shortly. And when I get that done, I'll come back and add another little section to this video. Checking in with you here now, folks, just letting you know how my progress is going. I'm at the halfway mark here now with respect to putting in those little ends of interior log siding on both sides of the window. I'll get back at it now and finish it up. All right, folks, I just finished putting on the last length of the interior log siding above the window here. I finished the window there yesterday, last evening, casing it in and putting on the trim, and then adding the header above and also the ribbon below, and the window stool, of course. Now, I'll just zoom in here and pan around and just show you what it looks like with all of the interior log siding putting around this window. Okay. I think I did a neat job here. It's a nice finish, and all of my joins and cuts are nice and clean, and they look pretty neat. Okay, and that's very important that you have good cuts and that it does look nice and tidy when the job is done. Okay, so that's our video on how to case in and trim a vinyl window here at the Old Church. Now, here's a before shot of this window without any trim, casing, or interior log siding. And here's the finished window with trim, casing, and the interior log siding all attached. And as always, folks, thanks so very, very much for watching our latest video on how to case in and trim a vinyl window here at the Old Church. And if you like this latest video, hit the thumbs up button, leave us a comment, and subscribe using the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner.